what is your opinion on the learning curriculum at Next, and why do you think it is beneficial for leaders who have that busy schedule?
Yeah, I do think the curriculum at Next is important for the busy schedules. We've all got busy schedules. We've all got so much going. So you really have the opportunity as a participant to either, be at the in-person class, be at the live class if you've got the time, if you've got the flexibility to do that, or to view it in a format where it's online and you can look at it later at your convenience. So I think having that flexibility makes it accessible to everyone, because we know everybody is so busy and has so many things going on. There's just no way that they could make 30 or 40 classes throughout a year. So having that flexibility is an important piece.
So great question. And again, as I mentioned, this emerged from a long 8-hour day, fire hose learning. And what I love about how we've now taken it into blended learning is you have 12 months to actually apply. So when you think each month you have an introductory webinar, kind of then what used to be the face-to-face, and then the end of month webinar. So you really have time through the month to incorporate, to read, to listen. I really do try to find suggestions and provide graphics to help people if they can't do all the reading. And we really encourage them, even if they haven't done the reading, just coming and listening in the class or participating in the webinars is really helpful. If people feel like they're falling behind, that start now, let go, give yourself grace, let go of judgment, and move forward. And there's always new information that they can take on and hopefully, as we mentioned, apply into their day-to-day leadership.
I think it was the great author Tom Peters who said, if you're not confused today, well, then you're simply not paying attention. Today we live and we have to operate our businesses in what's called a VUCA environment, an environment that's volatile, it's uncertain, it's complex and ambiguous. And probably one of the greatest benefits of Next is that we're preparing leaders for a 21st century construction industry that continues to change, that they have to operate within this VUCA environment. I mean, think about the dramatic change that business owners in the construction industry face today compared to what perhaps their grandmother and their grandparents did in the 50s or even before. We have some fourth generation leaders actually within the Next Leadership Academy. The rate and pace of change is so dramatic. I mean, if anyone needs convincing of that, just look back over the course of the last 8 months. It's bad enough we're living in a VUCA world, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. In the construction industry, we're dealing with an industry that's ripe for disruption. So we'll look at Clayton Christensen's model on disruptive innovation, for example. We're dealing with the onset of the fourth industrial revolution, the Internet of Things, and this dramatic technology change. And oh, by the way, if that's not enough, now we have to operate in this post-COVID-19 world, meaning after the arrival of COVID, as we begin to think about changing our work practices and our strategy to accommodate a world that no contractor sat a year ago thinking about, when they planned for 2020. So what I think Next does is prepare business leaders to be agile, to be able to respond to what's next, because we don't know what's next. And this can't be done in a 2-hour session. It can't be done in, a full day seminar. This takes exploring and leveraging constructs like leadership development, organizational learning, looking at organizational culture, disruptive innovation. And the only way to really be able to do that is extend it out over the course of the year and reflect on these, over the course of the year to try to make sense of how you can position your company to be agile in this ever-changing world.